So you want to learn about basic hedgehog care. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am accompanied by Chanel, and yes, I do have her in some fleece because she is being very rambunctious and wants to move a lot, so I'm just gonna make her comfortable, let her sleep if she really wanted to. So for today's video, it is all about basic hedgehog care. So the number one type of hedgehogs that we get in the United States are African pygmy hedgehogs. So if you're looking for an animal to lay with you and cuddle with you all the time, this is not the animal for you. Clearly, you could tell that Chanel is very antisocial. She does allow me to pick her up. I pick her up quite a lot. It's just, it is very bright in here, and she doesn't like the bright lights and all the noise and everything like that. So let's go on to the basic care of a hedgehog and what you need to know. So the first thing that you are going to need to know is that hedgehogs are nocturnal, so they do sleep during the day and they wake up at night. You might get a hedgehog that will wake up during the day to get a snack or something. Chanel is not one of these cases. She tends to sleep all through the day and she's up all night on her wheel. And if you guys see me looking down a lot, I wrote notes on my computer, so I'm just looking down to read my notes to make sure I get every point about these guys. Another thing that you should know about hedgehogs is that they are very skittish animals. So like if I were to go pet Chanel right now, she'd tuck her head down and bring out her quills. And that's another thing that happens with bonding too. So when you go to bond with your hedgehog, it will take a long time. It will take a long time, but be patient. I see a lot of people think that it's going to be easy to bond with their hedgehog, so they just set it off to the side and they forget about their hedgehog even existed because it never wants to bond with them or anything like that. So you just have to have patience, and you should be taking them out daily to socialize them and just to make sure that they're happy little hedgehogs. A hedgehog's diet is a cat food based diet. I actually feed Chanel blue buffalo. Some hedgehog food that is recommended would be Blue Buffalo Freedom Indoor, Blue Buffalo Weight Control Formula, Natural Balance Pet Food Alpha Formula, Natural Balance Green Pea and Duck Formula, and Merrick Before Grain #1 Chicken. So, as you can tell, hedgehogs should have a high protein diet, and so what I do is I just take 2 tablespoons of her food nightly, and whatever she doesn't eat, I do dump out in the morning. So hedgehogs have to be kept at certain temperatures to ensure that they don't go into hibernation, because if they go into hibernation, that is really bad. And you want to also make sure that if it is cold in your room, a hedgehog should be kept anywhere between 72 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it is colder than the 72 degrees in your animal's room or in your room alone, I would recommend you getting a ceramic heat emitter, which is just like a heat bulb that doesn't have any light, it just emits the heat. Or I would also recommend getting a space heater. Since all of my animals are in one room, I just tend to keep a space heater in here and make sure it is kept at a good degree. As of right now, we are at 73 degrees in this room, so it is perfect for her. So another thing that goes along with heating is heating pads. I would not recommend getting a heating pad for a hedgehog because it can burn the bottoms of their feet and it can cause serious issues. And their cages. Cage size should be right around 4 square feet for one hedgehog. So that could be a 2 foot by 2 foot cage. As of right now, Chanel is in a, I believe, 2 by 3, so that is 6 square feet, which is a little bit larger for her, but I do make sure that there is a bunch of stuff and clutter since they like clutter. Another thing with the cages is that hedgehogs can be climbers, and if your hedgehog is one of these cases, I do recommend not getting a wired CNC cage. There is better alternatives, there's more alternatives. So no wired cages, no wired bottoms, just to ensure that they don't hurt their feet and that nothing gets stuck and you don't have to go to the vet. So lastly, in their cage, they are going to need a sleep station and hides. Like I showed you in my animal, in the Meet My Animals, I think it was. I'll put it up in the iCard. So in my previous video, I did show you guys that Chanel does have a hide, a sleep sack, and just this piece of fleece in there, just to ensure that she feels comfortable and that she has everything that she needs. So wheels are another crucial aspect of a hedgehog's cage. They love to run, and they run all the time. Chanel's constantly on her wheel at night. Even though she is in a separate room, I still hear her running on her wheel. Their wheel sizes should be 10.5 inches or bigger in diameter for your wheel. And also you want to make sure that it is a solid running surface and not like a wired or gridded wheel. Another thing that is popular to talk about is bedding for hedgehogs. So I use fleece. In my opinion, I like fleece better because you could clean it more often and it's easier to clean. A bedding that you should stay away from is cedar bedding. It could cause upper respiratory issues and you do not want that for your hedgehog. So I just recommend staying away from cedar bedding or any sort of wood bedding. So any like paper bedding such as Carefresh, KT, you're going to want to freeze that for about 2 days to ensure that the mites and most of the eggs are frozen out of it, so that way there is a less of a chance of your hedgehog getting mites. Another thing with fleece, when you go to clean the fleece, make sure you're using the same detergent every single time, so that way when you put it back in their cages, they're not as surprised of the smell. And when you do change out the fleece, keep at least one item that smells like them in the cage, so that way they don't get stressed. Another thing about hedgehogs is that their quills do actually hurt. Quills are their own defense mechanism. They are prey animals, so they are used to being eaten in the wild. So they use their quills as their defense mechanism, and they do hurt, but never use gloves on your hedgehog. Try to use a piece of fleece like I am. Never use gloves. You'll get used to the pain. It's actually not even a pain. It kind of prickles, but some people compare it to a hairbrush, and I don't know what type of hairbrush they're using. It does not feel like a hairbrush. It does poke into your skin, and sometimes you do have the occasional hedgehog bleeding mark from one of the quills. So these animals right here are solitary animals. They are not community animals. They like being completely alone. Unless your hedgehog is a case that looks like he or she might need a companion, I would not recommend housing any other hedgehogs together to decrease the risk of fights. Grooming with hedgehogs is actually really easy. They get a bath once a month with, in between they get coconut oil on their skin because they have really dry skin, and she also gets 2 foot baths a month because her feet get really nasty. And you do want to make sure that you are doing nail trims. I can do a video on nail trims if that's something that you guys would like. You could go ahead and comment down below. Another thing with baths is that they're given once a month or as needed. I just do once a month to make sure that she's clean. She starts acting weird if she doesn't get a bath at least once a month. And you could also give them another bath if need be, because you might get something called hedgie hives, and it's just when the hedgehog's quills are dirty, so it gives you kind of like a hive on your hand. Another thing to keep in mind with hedgehogs is that they are exotic pets, so their vet bills are going to be a lot higher. So if you plan on getting a hedgehog, make sure you have an exotic vet close and that will take in one of these guys, because it is really hard and really expensive to find an exotic vet. So their lifespan is about 4 to 6 years. Chanel is about 2 years old, and it depends on who you get them from and the lineage that they're based off of for their whole life. It's just based off of lineage and how you take care of them and who you even got them from in the beginning. Lastly, a good thing to note about hedgehogs is that they have horrible eyesight. So something that may look 2 inches away to us might look 2,000 feet away from them. They have horrible eyesight and they tend to not be able to see properly. So always make sure that your hedgie is being watched. If you have it out, you know, playing or anything like that, just make sure you keep a close eye on them because they do have really bad eyesight. Thank you guys for watching my YouTube video on hedgehog basic care. Me and Chanel really enjoyed your guys' company today. I really hope to see you guys in my next video. I post every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. It was really nice talking to you guys. Stay safe and have a blessed day. Bye guys!